Hey, good evening. It's Tuesday night, September 8th. Thanks so much for being here. Since we live in such a stress-filled time, I want to talk about what we talked about at the parenting workshop on Saturday. I'm assuming most of you didn't hear that. But it's about Psalm 31, and we've talked about that before, but again, it's always worth going back over. And there's a freshness here to us about what it means to be able to deal with stress. We live in stressful times. Does God have a response for us? Well, David does. In this psalm, when they're going up to worship, he recalls for Israel God's faithfulness to them and what it's like to really trust God. So he opens the psalm this way: Lord, my heart is not proud. My eyes are not haughty. I don't get involved with things too great or too wondrous for me. In other words, he's not trying to figure out all the problems of the world. If we listen to the 24/7 news cycle or get on social media or talk to our friends too much about things, we start trying to solve the world's problems. We start being upset with all that's going around us and not focus on the things that we can actually do something about, the things where we can actually represent God well instead of complaining about things. So they're headed up to corporate worship, which they did 3 times a year for Israel. That's what these Psalms of Ascents are about. Psalm 131 is part of them. So on the way up, David is reminding us, don't get caught up in things that we can't deal with. Be patient before God. Instead of this dealing with things that are too much for me, instead, I have calmed and quieted my soul. Isn't that what we want? Isn't that how we want to sleep at night and rest? Yes, it is. So how has he done this? Well, he says, I am like a weaned child with its mother. My soul is like a weaned child. Now, a weaned child in that culture, babies were on their breasts until 3 years old or so. So this child then, who is no longer nursing, but he's still used to going to his mom for comfort. He's still used to going to his mother's breast to be satisfied, to feel like everything is okay. Mom's got me. He may not be nursing anymore, but that physical closeness with his mother is what's keeping him. Well, David is saying, I have become like that little child. I am clinging to my mom, the closeness of her body, the warmness of her breasts, her closeness to me. That comforts me. I haven't dealt with all this great stuff. I just know that if I trust God, I worship him like he's called me to do, I will be secure. I will be safe. I will have the humility to be like that weaned child who snuggles up next to his mom and knows everything is going to be okay. This doesn't mean we bail on our problems or responsibilities. It means that my heart is quieted before this God who never slumbers nor sleeps, who is always there with me. And we must not be too proud to see this beautiful imagery here of a little child drawing near to his mom, feeling the warmth of her body. And in that warmth, he finds peace, and his soul is quiet and good. May God give us the humility to have that this night and to sleep well, resting like a weaned child with his mom. And that's the thought for tonight. Lord bless you, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.